Chris Brown, Steve Tasker. Pleased to be joined now by defensive tackle for your Buffalo Bills, one DaQuan Jones, number 92 in your program, number 1 in your heart, and the pride of Johnson City, New York.
Yes, sir.
So let's just start with your off season, because you had to come back from an injury. You did that successfully before the season was over. I know you were determined to do that.
Yeah.
Did you have a normal off season, or were there still some rehab and strength stuff that you had to do besides your regular football prep?
No, not really. I just kept up the same program that Joe Mika gave me going. That I did like toward the last part of my rehab, and I kind of just kept building that up in the off season.
So regular off season for the most part.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, good.
Regular off season, and I kind of gave it like probably a good month until I started lifting like heavy, and then I had no problem with it.
Good.
Coming back in the OTAs, getting acclimated, ton of new faces in your room.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Great. I mean, we have a lot of people in there, most I've ever been a part of, but for having so many people, we're all gelling together pretty well, and it's really open book in there. I love going into those meetings, and Von Miller will get going on what he sees, and just seeing everyone kind of just tune in and listen and take notes is awesome. Having that open dialogue amongst these men is pretty cool to see.
There is one guy in there that's new to us, but not new to you. I mean, you played with him in college and in the pros.
Yeah.
Austin Johnson. What can you tell Bills fans about the style of DT that he is?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we are very similar in stature and how we play the game, and very similar backgrounds of playing at Penn State in a 4-3 attack and then being drafted to 3-4 teams. And I think he's doing a great job right now of fighting that mold of going back and forth between that read and kind of get off technique. And I think he's been fitting in with us pretty damn well. And then I think he's off to a great start in camp.
What's the biggest difference you see now? Bobby Babich is the voice in front of the room instead of your head coach, new defensive coordinator, third defensive coordinator in 3 years.
Yeah. Really just his energy. I think he brings a different type of energy. I think all the DCs we had are great guys as far as mind and teaching the game, but his energy doesn't match. And I think every day he comes in and he brings it and makes sure that we are all ready and on the same page, and trying to even bring that over to the field. He's like a little firecracker out there, just running around and just like, he's everywhere. And you love to see that as a player and as a defense and even as a team. So, we love him.
He looks like a firecracker, too. He's dressed in red every day.
Red every day, just running around. Yeah, so, it's good to see.
With the advance of the quick passing game, the RPO game, it's very hard nowadays for your edge rushers to get home. Like, even when they come clean, sometimes it's a challenge for them to get home. You guys still had 54 sacks last year. You were a productive unit. But Coach started using linebackers from inside positions. DTs have to make up more of the sack total now because they're just closer than the guys on the edges.
Right.
No matter where they line up, they got a longer distance to cover. So how do you guys as a defensive tackle group take on that challenge, knowing you guys are going to have to be more of that total at the end of the season with all the quick game and RPO game you see?
Yeah, I think we acknowledged that last year too. As far as like the last part of the season, we kind of dropped off in that aspect, and the challenge to ourselves in this group for this year is to be able to maintain what we did in the first half of the season, to the end. And we talk about it daily, and I think we're all very motivated to go out there and prove that point that we can do it, we can maintain it, and we can definitely pick it up when time needs to. So we acknowledge that the elephant, and we're ready for the challenge.
Yeah.
Give us an insight as to the conversations between the back end and the front. Now you got a bunch of new guys in the back, different voices now. Micah and Jordan aren't there. And that we noticed that when you guys are humming along, there's a lot of screaming going on because you guys are talking about everything as the play's about to be snapped. Tell us about how that's going and how those conversations are going.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going pretty well. We're getting better each and every day. And the first 2 days, I think there was a little communication stuff there. But then today we come out here, we get some hands on balls, and we have 3 takeaways, and D-line getting their hands up. And I think just be able to be out there and get those reps together as a unit, and in a live action like that is really going to just help us. And I think every day we're going to keep getting better and better.
Right.
All right, so now we got to have a little fun here because we saw the NFL Superhole Cornhole Tournament.
Yeah.
And it came down to you and a teammate in the finals.
Let's talk about it.
You and Dion Dawkins. And why don't we just share, for those that may have missed it, who emerged victorious from that finals competition?
I did.
Yeah. What was the score again?
I don't.
Was it tight? I can't remember if it was.
No, they were beating us pretty good. I think it was like 9-3 or 9-4, and
you guys had to come back.
Yeah, we had to come back, and it was the rest was history after that. yeah.
All right. So tell me the level of bragging rights that cornhole carries in the locker room, because we know that we're talking about hyper-competitive people in an NFL locker room. That's number one.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys would do it with tiddlywinks, for God's sake. So where does the cornhole bragging rights rank in the locker room amongst games that you guys play off the field?
I mean,
if you say anything other than it's the most important aspect of our off-field activities, I'll be disappointed in you.
I know. I mean, we take it very seriously. We have a whole chart, a whole list of
a rankings list.
Yeah, of like the top 5 in the locker room.
Yeah,
like, we take it very seriously.
So So are you at the top because of this tournament? Or?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Do they work it like that, like boxing does, where people have to earn the right to even get on the
on the card?
You have to beat someone at least twice in a row for it.
Twice in a row. Okay, so that's the standard.
So and like how many people? I don't know if you've got this deep. How many people are like trying to get we want a piece of you?
Well, not a lot. I mean,
nobody wants you.
Nobody wants any.
Very intimidating.
Nobody wants any.
Asking for Mike Tyson.
Walking away from being champion right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll take him.
Yeah, so, a lot of guys also left too. So we're trying to find a new
crop of talent.
Crop of talent.
So your number one is Dion 2? Or
is
somebody else 2?
I don't know. I mean, AJ's pretty good.
AJ, okay.
Yeah, Epidef was very good.
This sounds like a lineman sport very quickly here. Is there any, guys off the ball that even come close to?
Cam Lewis is pretty good.
Cam, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he played a lot last year, and haven't seen him around this year a lot, but you never know with Cam.
Okay, so now, second question. Is there a home base for the team where everybody goes to play? I mean, if it's out in public, you don't have to tell us because we don't want people bum rushing you. But is there a guy's house that is a frequent home base for playing?
In that locker room.
It's in the locker room.
It's in the locker room.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. That's the Holy Grail right there.
Okay, that's fair. Let's talk a little bit about your hometown in Central New York, because I know you've got a business down there in Binghamton now. Just share with us, because I don't have to tell you. I'm sure you go back and you see a fair amount of red, white, and blue. There's Bills Bills Mafia in the Binghamton, Johnson City area. So maybe just share with them, the local business you've opened up and you got up and running there.
Yeah, I opened up a liquor lounge there about 3 years ago, and it's been doing great. It's called the Legacy Lounge, and we just. I wanted to bring something to my hometown, just to change up. I mean, it's a very small area. We have like a block of bars there.
Yeah.
But we have a great university, Binghamton University, and a lot of kids come up from New York and just trying to continue to grow that area for them, and so they can kind of just have more stuff to do. So, I mean, my first project ain't going to be my last one, and kind of just keep on improving the area back home and trying to make it as great as we can.
Now that you've got a spot established, you're kind of thinking about your off the field stuff now, you're at a point in your career too where you're kind of turning into maybe a mentor. You got a draft kid Dwayne Carter coming in. Now you're the guy that, I know when you came in there were older guys than you were kind of looking at and say, hey, how do I do this? And now you got young guys. How do you feel about a job like your job to mentor guys, be a part of the culture, as particularly with guys exiting the room, and you being one of the important guys still standing? Yeah,
I mean, I love it. I truly try to embrace it in every way I can. And guys, that are even second year, third year here, we talk all the time about what they should be doing off the field and as far as investments and what to get into. And I just try to tell them to don't be afraid to take chances on some stuff. You know what I mean? You don't know what you like until you do it. So for me, I try to be a jack of all trades and try to dabble in everything I can to see what I really like. And then so when that transition finally comes, when I can hang up the cleats, I'll have a couple different things I can get into.
And how about the same notion in between the lines on the field when these guys come in, and certainly nobody gets to the National Football League without having some success someplace, right?
Yeah.
But when they get here, all of a sudden they realize it's a different animal. How do you help them make the transition as a young player? Even the first, it takes a minute to find your support system, your off-season routine. That's why the third year a lot of times is where these guys finally get that off-season finally done. They get a couple of years under their belt, and now they feel like they've got a routine they can go to. How do you help them with that transition as well?
I think just kind of reminding them that, what got you here, and having that self-belief. You know, I've been around the places, been to Tennessee when we won 2 games and 3 games, and the nature of the business can be kind of nasty. And at the end of the day, all depends on where you're at too. And I think the coaching staff here and the organization treat their players with so much respect. And I think that give them time to develop, and just kind of remind them that you have that time and believe in who you are. I mean, I think it's the biggest battle. You come here, you see someone like Ed Oliver, and you try to match him, or you see someone you idolize like Von Miller, you want to try to be like that guy. But like, you know, we all have our own skill talents, and just at the end of the day, just believe in yourself and what got you here, and building on that. Don't try to be too much or try to be like someone else, and you'll be fine.
Who would you say of those young guys is in your ear the most? Who is asking you the most questions? Hey, DQ, you got a second? I was just wondering about like who's seeking knowledge the most?
I mean, I wouldn't say one person in particular. I feel like they all do a really good job, and I mean it. Like they all they're all at the ready all the time, and we go out here for pre-practice. It's more like pre-practice. We're sitting out there, we better work on our technique, or they have a question that they're not afraid to ask, which is a rarity because a lot of guys just don't do that. You know, a lot of guys rather be quiet, or they're too. They think a question is too dumb and it's not. And these guys are there and they're biting at the bit and they ask their questions, and we kind of just open book it and give them what we can.
Yeah, we had also we talked to you about Bobby Babich. What about Marcus West? He was is a guy you kind of familiar with.
He's been in the room for 2 years as the assistant.
Now he's up. How's he handling that? Has it been good to see?
Coach,
he's a new defensive line coach after everybody kind of went up a notch on the pecking order. And now he's a full position coach. How's he handling that? Is he what's he bring to the table?
Well, I think he's doing a great job. I think the guys respect him. When he was here with Coach Washington as an assistant, and when even then he earned the respect of the room, and guys seemed to go with him to talk to him about stuff when they were dealing with whatever their technique or playbook. And so when he got the job, I think it kind of just settled the room down a little bit. Not have to get to know a new coach and kind of just be able to continue off what we built with him. So I think he's doing a great job out there. His energy out there is like unmatched. It's almost like a mini Bobby Babich out there. Like he's running around
right.
In between the snaps, and he's running down the field with us. So I think he's doing a great job.
Can you speak to that? Because we get calls sometimes where people say, well, what does it matter if the coach is energetic? The players need to be energetic. But I don't think some fans realize what a charge that puts into a player. Can you just kind of share with them, when you got your coach hopping up and down, so pumped up that you may not have even won the play, but you executed the play with the technique that they want.
Yeah.
For them, that's a positive, and they're jumping up and down and everything. Just the effect that has on a unit, a line, a defense as a whole, when you see your coach over there who's not even playing the game, but he is like jacked through the roof for the way you're executing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all creatures of it, right? The energy, like we all feed off it, and some days I might be dragging, or the guy next to me might be dragging, or the whole team might be dragging one day, and the coaches are bringing the energy, and you kind of just feed off that, and it trickles throughout the whole team, and I mean, I think it's great. That might be one of the weirdest things that someone can say, but like, I mean, if the coach is over there just quiet and just negative all the time, you probably won't get a lot of good results from your guys, and it makes you want to play that much harder for the guys and for the coaches that are locked into and are truly paying attention to what you're doing, and not just telling you, oh, well, I don't know, I'll see it later on film. They're in tune. They can give you feedback right there to spin it back out at you, because they're literally in the damn play. Like if we're right here, they're like 5 yards away, and they're in it, and they can see it all.
You can hear them breathing.
Yeah, you're getting good feedback.
One of the things we watch, Brownie and I come out and watch you guys. And I know it's really early in camp. You guys haven't even put pads on yet or anything, but we've been watching. We've been noticing too the guys that you're playing against, the offensive line, when they move Connor down inside to guard, and they're plugging whoever to center from guard, and they plug in, David Edwards. They're big. It's a big offensive line. It's a big O line. How do you got? What do you see? I mean, you played a lot, and you've seen a lot of O lines. Give us a little synopsis about what you see playing against them.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be solid, man. I'm curious to see when we put pads on how it's going to be, but I feel like they're all moving together on the same page and not really having a lot of MEs out there, and they're changing it up pretty good as far as like the protections and trying to trick us up so we can't get a jump on it. So to have that kind of chemistry already, day 3 of camp is, I think it says a lot to how much they are putting in outside of the football field.
Right.
And even last night, walking into the dorms, the O-lines and they're studying together. I think that is huge. I think it goes a long way, and it's a testament to their work ethic.
Yeah.
DaQuan, thanks for spending some time with us. It's always good to visit with you. We appreciate it.
Stay
healthy this year
yeah.
and kill it. You were on a track for a Pro Bowl last year.
We're going to bring it back.
Let's repeat that and stay healthy and get through all 17 games.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.